Christian Lindner is widely considered a figure of hope in the crisis-torn FDP. Even though he's just 33 years old, the party is praying he'll be able to garner enough votes to keep the Free Democrats in North Rhine-Westphalia's parliament. The election in Germany's largest state could prove critical to the future of the FDP at the federal level as well, even though Lindner only alludes to it between the lines.
It will have an effect beyond the borders of North Rhine-Westphalia. Will there be a Liberal Party in Parliament? Will the state pursue fiscal policies that increase debt like Greece? Or will it be fair to future generations? Its symbolic impact will go well beyond the state's borders.
Das reicht schon über Nordrhein-Westfalen in der Symbolwirkung hinaus.
The party is also gearing up for elections in the northern German state of Schleswig-Holstein. FDP candidate Wolfgang Kubicki is viewed as a scrappy politician. Instead of holding long-winded speeches, he prefers to exchange verbal blows with political opponents. And he doesn't pull any punches when it comes to his own party either. Kubicki says the FDP's biggest problems are self-inflicted.
In the long run, it's pretty demoralizing when your party is polling at under 5%, when it's losing one state election after another because party members aren't being motivated, and the rest of the voters aren't being encouraged to trust us.
Few other politicians in the party are expressing themselves as forcefully as Kubicki. In his campaign, he's trying to reverse the FDP's negative trend by openly discussing its mistakes. The Free Democrats could lose as many as two-thirds of their former voters in the upcoming election. Kubicki says he knows why.
We missed a paradigm shift in thinking, that policies of lightening the burden for current generations might have to be altered in order to lighten the burden for future generations, because of national debt crises in Europe, in Germany as well, and the total over-indebtedness of our public sector. Our first assignment has to be consolidating budgets and learning how to get by without running up more debt.
In North Rhine-Westphalia, Christian Lindner agrees, but he won't discuss where the party has gone wrong. However, in his campaign, he turns his back on old FDP policies. The Free Democrats once called for lower taxes. His platform emphasizes belt-tightening and paying down debt.
In Germany's largest state, we're concentrating on the topics that affect this state: clearing up debt, equal opportunity in education, and sound energy policies. That's how the party can win back trust. It's a path for the FDP as a whole.
At FDP headquarters in Berlin, the party's leaders are watching the state campaign battles with mixed feelings. They're desperate to turn things around, but too much independence on the state level weakens party leader Philipp Rösler. He's now also calling for debt reduction. As economics minister, he's demanding the federal government balance the budget 2 years earlier than currently planned.
We say that if we're a little more ambitious, together we could already balance the budget by 2014. That would send a signal domestically for more growth, but also one to Europe, that solid budgets are the best foundation for economic growth and future prosperity.
Rösler took over as head of the FDP 11 months ago. The party hoped he would stop its slide in the polls, but the electoral defeats have continued. When it was time to elect a new German president, Rösler helped Joachim Gauck to the post, against the will of the chancellor. But he's accomplished little else. He's now tight-lipped when asked critical questions.
Thanks, I think we've discussed these questions enough now.
What does the FDP have left to offer? To make an impression on voters, the party has to answer that question convincingly. Right now, its image is lots of promises, but little substance. Even grassroots voters are being driven away.
You get the impression that the liberality, freedoms, self-determination, and entrepreneuring spirit that the FDP used to represent have been forgotten somewhere along the way, and that the party has been punished for it.
They can only regain credibility if they don't limit themselves to financial topics, but also address questions of civil rights.
Public relations are all well and good, but the party's leadership seems to be missing the point.
One last photograph to remember the moment. In this campaign, the real challenge for Christian Lindner is not to end up just as a memory.